The Messianic Aleph-Tav Scriptures, or its abbreviated acronym, MATS, was written to be a study Bible. And my original focus and reason for putting these scriptures together was quite simply to be able to leave our 5 children and grandchildren the greatest gift I could ever give them, the most unique rendition of the Old Testament, or Tanakh, of its kind in the world. If I had to sum up in one statement the relevance of all that I have learned in the last 4 years of compiling the Messianic Aleph-Tav Scriptures, I would have to say with most all assurity that the greatest symbol in biblical history since it was revealed by the Apostle John is the Aleph-Tav character symbol. It is truly the Holy Grail of the Scriptures. And the reason is because it unlocks the mystery to the greatest treasure man can ever hope to comprehend from the Scriptures. This rediscovered character symbol has been hidden in plain sight from the beginning, starting with the original Paleo-Hebrew scrolls written by the hand of Moses and the prophets, and copied by the scribes for thousands of years thereafter into Babylonian Hebrew, but was never translated by the composers of the King James or early English Bibles because it was not considered a word. This English version of the Tanakh is the first exhaustive rendition to incorporate all the Aleph-Tav symbols into the English structure exactly where Moses and the prophets placed them originally in the Hebrew scrolls. It is called Messianic because its whole purpose is aimed at exposing Yeshua HaMashiach, our Messiah, throughout the entire Tanakh, and will give a whole new meaning to the prophetic verse in both Psalms 40, verse 7, which is repeated in Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the scroll. It is written of me to do thy will, O Elohim. The Messianic Aleph-Tav Scriptures comes in your choice of 2 editions, the regular 6x9 trim size and the large print edition in 8.5 by 11 trim size, both with over 700 pages and each having nearly 100 pages of commentary called the Aleph-Tav Alerts, which will briefly point out special placement of the Aleph-Tav symbols in each parashah in the Torah and each book of the Bible with possible meaning. Also listed after each appropriate verse is nearly 300 messianic prophecies fulfilled by Yeshua, the Messiah, with the appropriate verse where it is fulfilled in the New Covenant. We live in a time where knowledge is being poured out by Father's Spirit at an unprecedented rate to those who have ears to hear, eyes to see, and a heart's desire to press in and acquire more truth by revelation. I have been on a journey for the last 4 years, tracking down and uncovering in the Hebrew text over 9,000 Aleph-Tav character symbols, and have discovered treasures by reason of their placement that I believe have been hidden for nearly 2,000 years, that only the disciples and the early believers could have possibly known, and now are being brought out in the open in our generation. I have put together on the website as an example the first part of the Messianic Aleph-Tav Scriptures, nearly 20 pages, as a foretaste of what you will find in this rendition, which includes the introduction and the first parashah from Genesis. I cannot begin to tell you how many times I have wept at my computer as Father's Spirit revealed to me precious truths from His Word by virtue of where the Aleph-Tavs were placed. Truly, without question, I have become a believer that the Aleph-Tav is Yeshua's fingerprint, His mark, if you will, which reveals His presence and even His divine nature in His living Word, which I explain in more detail in the introduction. And yet, I feel I have barely scratched the surface on the discoveries waiting to be uncovered. This is why I want you to have my personal email address, so that we may share our findings and grow together in the knowledge of what Father desires to reveal to His chosen elect. Once you begin to see where the Aleph-Tavs are located, you will understand, as I do, why you would not want to read the Tanakh without them in the text. For nothing is as powerful as knowledge from on high, whose time has come. I'm Bill Sanford, inviting you to join me on the greatest treasure hunt the Word of Elohim has ever revealed, the working of the Yahed with mankind. It changed my life. Shalom.